G'day guys, it's Dimitri here from LearnMate Tutoring, and today I'm recording this video for you on the gender differences in language. Now, at this time of the year, being the end of August, all of you are going to be studying Unit 4 Area Study 2, and the most important part, one of the most difficult parts for students to comprehend and understand is the gender differences in language. Now, before I begin this video, I just want to make sure that everything I make today is they're general observations. They are not entirely concrete, and in fact gender linguistics is one of the most uncertain areas of linguistics because it's not always definite and not always proven. So everything I say today, guys, is said from a general observational view, so make sure you do a lot of online research to back up any claims you make in your particular essays regarding the gender differences in language. So there's a really good quote that linguist Robin Lekov said. She said that gender is for all of us the bottom line of our sense of identity. From a very early age, the question of who we are and what we can and should do depends on whether we have learned in early childhood that we are a girl or a boy. Now, using this quote as the foundation for today's video, I'm going to briefly go through the general features of female language and then male language. Now, female language is generally more focused on rapport. So what I mean by that is they're usually using language to build a sense of community, to show greater support. For example, I'm glad everyone had a chance to participate. Female language also is generally more supportive. They often use a lot more minimal responses to indicate they're listening, like yeah, and so forth. In addition to that, they're also generally more tentative. Now again, what tentative means is it's another way of saying uncertain. So oftentimes in the presence of males, they may use a lot of interrogative tags such as the report is due today, isn't it? So again, general observations, but later on I'll give you some quotes that prove these particular claims. And lastly, conversational initiation. So oftentimes they ask questions to get the conversations going. Did you hear about? Are you going to? And so forth. Now let's contrast this with male language. So male language generally exhibits the following features. They focus less on feeling sorry and more on information, facts, knowledge, and competence. They also focus more on giving advice. So when dealing with personal problems, they try to offer solution, while empathizing to show solidarity does not seem helpful or appropriate. Now I can give my own example or anecdote to actually prove this particular point. At home, my dad is very, when I go home, my dad is very, if I have a problem, my dad will be very instrumental in giving a solution. And often he says, look, I'm not concerned about your emotions, this is what you have to do. Whereas mum, if I tell a problem to mum, she starts to get a lot more emotional, a lot more attached to the particular problem. So I've noticed that in my family too, where my dad is generally more solution focused and my mum really focuses a lot more on how I feel internally. So that's just an example. I'm not sure if you guys see that in your family too. And oftentimes men sometimes use dominance to gain control in a conversation. So they'll generally try to change topics, whereas females will generally try to link topics to the previous utterance that they made. Now, with regards to some lexical features, guys, some of the biggest key lexical features is that males generally swear 3 times more frequently than females, and they often use stronger obscenities. However, this is not always the case. Generally, when females are with other females at school, they'll often use a lot of swear words too. In addition to that, in terms of conversational management, men generally use I mean, the discourse particle I mean, as a topic shift more frequently than females do. So what this means is that females generally, in a casual conversation, will generally try to link utterances to previous speakers and develop each other's topics rather than introducing new topics, which is what men will generally do. So a study has been conducted where 36.84% of men used I mean to indicate a topic shift, whereas only 25.92% of females use this as a topic shift. In terms of phonological variation, the biggest difference is that women generally use more HRT. Now obviously in Australian culture, HRT is used all the time. However, one of the biggest reasons why females generally use more HRT is because it's a greater desire to maintain hold of the floor and to continue talking. And also, in addition to that, Robin Lekov in 1975, yes, it's an old quote, but she did actually say that high-pitched voice, that women usually answer a question with rising intonation patterns, so HRT, rather than falling intonation. In this way, they can show their gentleness, and sometimes this intonation does show a lack of confidence in their utterances. So think about it. If you're going down at the end of every sentence, it indicates you're certain. If you're going up, it indicates that you're not so certain. Okay, there you have it, guys. These are some of the key differences between male and female language. Now, as I said at the start, guys, a lot of these are general observations and they do require more research. So if you are going to be using any of these claims that I've made today, make sure you do find a lot of online research conducted by credible resources in order to show that reputability in your essay. So if you do have any questions about or anything you'd like me to discuss with regards to gender differences of language, please comment below. Thanks, guys.